Okay, so coming back to the same liability of parties concept, example I have explained to you with respect to a bill of exchange only, but let us discuss now liability of all the parties of all the three types of instrument respectively one by one. So liability of party, see, any instrument is drawn because one person is liable to make a payment to the other person, right? So in that case, the person who is liable to make payment to the other person, in the concept of endorsement, the first liability is that of the drawer in case of bills of exchange, maker in case of promissory note, and draw in case of bank also, check also. So these are their liabilities. And intermediate endorsements, when they come, so in that case those endorsers also become liable to the subsequent parties. That means every endorser is liable to every next endorsee. Then talking about the holder, holder is also one of the endorsees, and he is the last endorsee because he is the one who got the instrument at the last before the date of maturity. Now, so respective liabilities of all the parties. First is liability of maker of a promissory note. Now we understand that in case of promissory note, it is the maker who promises to the payee that he shall make the payment, this much amount of payment on this very date. So that means the liability of the maker of promissory note is primary. So he is primarily liable to make payment to the payee on its maturity. And in case of bill of exchange, it is the drawee, but drawee becomes liable only if he accepts. So that way we can say acceptor of a bill of exchange is the person who is liable primarily under a bill of exchange. And we also have understood the concept of acceptor for honor. So in case the drawee is not accepting it, then an acceptor of honor will be accepting it. So that acceptor of honor becomes the party primarily liable to make the payment. And in case the default takes place, means there is dishonor of instrument, so in that case these persons will be liable to make good the loss of any of the subsequent parties of the instrument. Second is in case of drawer of a bill of exchange. So drawer of a bill of exchange, I just explained to you. In our example it is Arun, so his liability will be secondary only. So his liability will only be in case the drawee fails. So in case drawee makes a payment, you don't have any liability as a drawer. In case the drawee makes a dishonor of payment, in that case the liability will fall on the drawer and other parties. And here we are discussing about drawer, his liability is secondary. But to hold the drawer liable under this instrument of bill of exchange, you need to give him the notice of dishonor. You means the holder. Now holder wants to make him liable because he has not got his payment. So holder needs to inform him by giving a notice of dishonor, which is compulsory, because then only he will come to know that he is liable as a secondary party. Third is liability of a drawee of a check. Now drawee in case of check is always a banker. That was the main feature of the check. So the liability of the drawee in case of a check is he is liable to honor the check issued by his customer. So in case that customer's account is having sufficient balance, the check was duly signed, signatures are matching, and the date of the date of the check is not a post dated check, in that case he has to make the payment. He is liable to make the payment of his customer. And in case he refuses to make payment without any sufficient cause, then he is liable to compensate the drawer, and drawer in this case will be that customer of the banker who has issued this check. So in that case it is a big matter of loss of goodwill, loss of honor for that customer, that without any sufficient reason his issued check was dishonored or the payment was refused by the banker on that check. So in that case banker has a liability to compensate the drawer for any kind of loss because of that wrongful default, wrongful refusal of payment. Having said this, but there are certain circumstances wherein the banker will be very much justified in refusing the payment and dishonoring the check. That is, 1, in case the check is post dated, then it has come today, has been presented today, you will not make payment unless that post dated check date mention has come. Or it is an outdated check, or which we call stale check. After issue of a check, within 3 months you have to get it in cash, otherwise it becomes outdated or stale check. Then also banker will not make any payment. Second, if the check is mutilated, it is torn out, it is not in a proper state of condition, then banker never makes payment. In case some kind of validity issue is there, in case of that check, or the customer who has issued that check, he has either died or has become unsound mind or has become insolvent, and banker has notice of this matter, the death or insolvency or the unsoundness, then banker has every right to stop or to postpone the payment for the time being. Then lastly, if the specimen signatures of the customer which are put on the check, they do not match with the specimen signatures in the records of the banker, then banker has every right to refuse the payment. Then you cannot hold banker liable for any wrongful refusal of payment. Then he is right, banker is right. And in these cases also, banker will be made liable in case the amount of check was different and it was increased, it was changed, altered by fraud, and banker did not pay attention to that cheating done, some kind of alteration done. Then banker is supposed to be vigilant and he is supposed to refuse payment on such cheating done on that check. Or the signatures of the customer are forged. Forged means the customer himself has not put that signature, somebody has forged his sign, has copied his sign. Even if those signs are exactly matching with the specimen signatures in the custody of the banker, still banker will be held liable, because forgery has no meaning under law. Forgery is equivalent to being a void instrument. And thirdly, in case the forgery is in endorsements. Now remember, we have endorsements also, so all the endorsers would have endorsed it to the next person, and endorsers are supposed to put their signatures also. So this check was issued by the drawer, endorsers have endorsed. The banker is only aware about the signatures of his own customer, who is the drawer in this case, so he will be held liable if the signatures of the drawer are forged. In case signatures of the endorsers are forged, then banker cannot be held liable, because banker is not aware about their signatures. In cases where the check gets dishonored, in that case drawer will be held liable even criminally. So dishonor of a check is a criminal liability, and in that case you can be imprisoned for 2 years period, or a fine which may be equal to which may be extending to double the amount of the check, or both of them together. But to hold the drawer criminally liable for dishonor of the checks, because either his signatures were not matching or sufficient balance was not there, etc., etc. So in that case he will be liable criminally, provided these conditions are satisfied. First, check was presented within the valid period. Second, after dishonor, banker has to give intimation to the drawer within 30 days that because of these reasons your issued check has been dishonored. Then within 15 days of getting this notice from the banker about dishonor or non-payment on the check, the client can still make a payment, but after expiry of 15 days, from 16th day onwards, if he does not make any effort to clarify the payment, he will be held liable for this criminal liability. Fourth is liability of endorsers. So I have explained the liability of endorser is secondary, or we can say conditional liability. It happens only if the instrument gets dishonored and not otherwise. So some more aspects about dishonor, like in case of drawer or bill of exchange, the endorser, to be held liable, he should also be given a notice of dishonor, because unless the notice is given to him, he is not aware as to whether this instrument which he endorsed to somebody else has become dishonored. Liability of prior parties. Prior parties means all the parties who are ahead of the holder. So all the parties who are ahead of holder means all the previous endorsers and the drawee and the payee and the drawer. All the parties except the holder are said to be prior parties. So the holder in due course, or the holder, he can hold any one or all of the prior parties liable for the amount due on the instrument. Because I told you in that example that all the prior parties are jointly and severally liable to the holder or holder in due course. So the basic principles of liability of parties become that primary liability is, in case of promissory note, is on maker, in case of check is on drawer, in case of bill of exchange it is on acceptor, and secondary liability we have understood, it falls on endorsers and the drawer in case of bill of exchange, and the endorsers, they all are liable to the holder in due course. So that is all about the liability concept, liability of the instrument, liability of the parties of an instrument.